What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the season 3 finale of the Four Square Podcast. As always, it's your boy Jeff.
It's your boy Alex.
It's your boy Lucas.
And I'm sleepy.
I feel that. Yeah.
Big EP energy.
Hey, before we get this started, cheers. If you're 21 or if you're 18 in another country, drink responsibly. Cheers to a season 3 finale.
Mm-hmm.
Blessings.
And Happy New Year, because we're filming this in 2024.
Ooh, hey, 2024 about to be a crazy ass year. Good way, bad way, good way, good way. That's what I'm saying.
Let's get it.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be something. That's for
It's gonna be a
Looking
hell
forward
of a
to it.
year, bro. It's gonna
Yeah.
be so special.
Already, it's been crazy.
So special.
Yep.
It's only Tuesday, Cap.
Lab caught on fire. Just kidding. I'm not gonna talk about that.
Please don't. Please, come on, bro. Don't.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But
But what are we talking about?
yeah, so
That's
to
the
finish off, the season 3, we're gonna go and circle back to our most popular topic, relationships.
Ooh.
What you mean, boo? That's everybody love talking about relationships. Everybody.
Why are you booing?
Every time I scroll on TikTok and Instagram, it's always relationship.
Relationship,
Man,
Why are
relationship.
you booing?
And it's always the guys that just be talking, bro.
Bruh.
And
Don't
that's
know how
why
to
I
be in
don't
an
like
actual healthy
talking about
relationship. It'd be so funny
it.
too.
It's
I'd be like, bro,
saturated with piss and
Bro.
shit. It's
Goodness.
saturated.
No, but then the woke ones, but the woke dudes,
Everybody
they'll
talking
bring
about
women on. But they
women
bring-
do this
but
and
they
men do
They
this.
cherry pick the kind of women they want to bring on.
And people being like, "Oh, you're just a pick me." I don't even know. I
And
honestly don't even know what a pick me
They
is.
pick certain
Facts.
women, and then
Yeah.
they talk over them, and it's like,
and berate them like a motherfucker.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh yeah,
And it's so funny because once they bring somebody that checks them, then they get real, like they're really sensitive about.
Oh,
that.
yeah, they
They
get
don't know.
upset.
They don't
They
know
get
how to
upset.
handle it. They don't know how to handle it.
That's why they don't. That's why they don't like them on the show.
Yeah, fresh and fit. I'll name drop. I don't give a fuck.
Whoa!
I'll name drop.
Fresh and fit.
Okay.
Cheers.
Yeah, true. But I mean, yeah,
right.
That's what we're doing.
fun.
Season 3 finale, ain't it? How many mimosas have you had?
One.
Enough. Enough. That's always the answer. Enough.
Fuck it. Hey man, we're balling.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, what's cool is that relationships is a very popular subject that a lot of people who are in the podcast world now, that is such a hot button that everybody wants to be on. But I think why I say boo is because people are really not being genuine when it comes to these relationship conversations from both the perspectives of what men do and what women do and and all in between. It's just saturated with piss. And it's so annoying.
He loves that phrase so much.
Yeah, bro, it's garbage.
Saturated.
People
Piss.
people aren't honest with themselves.
No, piss is sterile.
Yeah. Okay. So, shut up. Like, no,
I think I would actually do like the waste, like shit,
people.
Diarrhea.
It's just because I truly feel that people aren't honest with themselves. I really feel like if people took a hard look in the mirror, then they wouldn't say half of the crap that they would be saying on these shows.
They're very delusional on a lot of these shows when it comes to relationships.
Well, a lot of these people, they give themselves a platform to feel confident enough to say these things. Views, camera, lighting, and they talk and they surround themselves with people who will either support their ideas or they won't say anything about it. And they confuse loud speaking with generally correct or confidently well positioned speaking. And it's not the same thing. I think people need to stop confusing that for the same thing.
I agree.
Because people. I saw a tweet long time ago where it's like one of the biggest problems with like Twitter and social media is it ignores the fact that we were put in different levels of academic achievement in schools for a reason.
Everybody need a
Now
mic.
everybody's interacting with each other, and it shows. Everyone has an opinion, but nobody knows how or when to exercise their right to just not
Or how to articulate.
Hey yo!
Like some people really just say something. They say it and they don't really think it through.
Boy said, y'all slow as fuck.
People are dumb.
But,
Like,
people-
people are so
People
dumb.
will say shit. They'll say things,
We can tell you
and
were
they
in the
say it with
special
such
class.
like unfounded confidence. And I look at him like,
Was your bus short?
I'm sorry, do you hear yourself?
Foursquare does not joke about
We do not
people
condone
that have
Max's
those
statements.
disabilities. That's enough. That's enough mimosas for you, sir.
The bus was a little bit shorter than everybody else's.
Jesus Louise.
This is the finale.
I mean, like, but it's a growing problem also of like people, it shouldn't be. What it should be happening is people should be lifting others up or helping them achieve what they want to achieve so that we can all grow together. But instead, people are insecure and they belittle others because it makes them feel better about themselves.
I better say, no, Lucas, they do it. The problem is that they do it in a condescending way. They do it and they're like, why are you sitting there on your butt? Why are you sitting there? You're fat, you're lazy, you're ugly, nobody loves you. Get up.
That's what I'm talking about. You're putting other people down.
Go run.
Not me though.
You can do it.
That's what I say to myself every day.
Stop being a coward.
What? People don't respond
Goggins.
well, yeah.
Who's going to carry the fucking punch slugs? Remember who the fuck you are.
Goggins is.
That's a whole nother. That's
That
a whole
is-
other
that is-
conversation.
that is a
That's whole
specimen.
other conversation.
That's something.
That is a
Relationship with
specimen.
David Goggins.
But speaking of relationships, let's talk about what people do right. And I know the squares around here are definitely doing right in their relationship. So what's definitely some things that okay. Well, what's some damn? What's some positive things in you guys' relationships? Who you talking to?
You talking about me? Oh, shit.
That's crazy.
You're talking to
That's
the
crazy.
outlandish, out of pocket. I love my wife ass over here. Say
Well-
something ridiculous and then followed by I love my wife, like it's like some kind of no homo shit. Like
These squares that may not know, if you want, you could post a picture of. But yes, my relationship status has elevated to a different level.
yeah, extra annoying.
Shut up.
We're getting married.
Ooh, weed.
He said, "Who's we?"
I said, ooh, weed.
This
Like,
is-
that's loud.
This is the Foursquare wedding. Like, but so okay, I guess I'll start off. Yes, of like what has gone well.
You're the motherfucker that
We was already talking about what dudes are doing bad. Let's talk about something that's good.
Well, for the good. Yes, I'm very blessed and fortunate to have found a person that has aligned majority of everything. We've matched each other spiritually, mentally, emotionally. We support each other. We hold each other accountable, which is a huge button that people be no. We actually hold each other accountable. We call each other out when we need to. And when I hold her to something, then she rises to that occasion, and she don't sit there and like make no excuses. She'll take the criticism, and I'll take her criticism, and we want each other to be better for ourselves and for each other. Because if we pour into each other, then we get the benefits coming from it in the back end, and that's what makes it lit. So yeah, I like it over here. So it's cool. So.
Whoa,
That's good. That's good.
Giving him some good stuff. man.
Right. He served that. No, for real.
He did that, man. Woo! Yeah, man.
That's
Clap
what's
it
up,
up.
that's
Clap
what's
it
up.
up, man. Clap it up. That boy getting
Yeah.
married.
So it's
Get it.
it's truly a blessing. I'm very happy. I mean, yeah, like don't be fooled. I'm very happy that I have accomplished that in my life. It was a freaking heart attack to do it. Oh my gosh, but it was worth it at the end, and everybody was all happy and
That boy was
teary eyed,
sweating.
and yeah, I was.
That
look,
boy was shaking. That boy was
palms
shaking.
sweaty.
That boy was shaking. That
Like-
boy was shaking in his
Yeah.
boots, boy.
It was a very nerve. It was
Beautiful day.
it was a
Nerve wracking
lot.
day.
But it was a great day at the end. Took pictures, and it was all great.
Gorgeous.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, it's truly, we are honest with each other. We communicate, even if somebody says something that we may not like. It's still, we try to listen to the person and we hear them out. She hears whatever I have to say. I hear whatever she has to say. If she just needs to express how she feels, I will sit and listen. Like, don't just sit there and just just brush off somebody's feelings. Like,
Exactly.
when I express my
Validating
concerns, when I'm
feelings.
genuinely pouring out my heart to her, she sit there and she receives it. Even if it's like she may not understand something, she'll ask questions so that she can get to the understanding because she wants to understand me and I want to understand her. and that those little minute details catapults us into a different region of like relationship status, because like I said, like the stuff that we see, it seems like people are very quick to take the high road. People aren't willing to sacrifice or work hard for honestly
be the
anything
low
in
road?
life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the low road? The easy
Well, whatever the phrase is.
Yeah.
Whatever the phrase
Technically.
is. But people are quick to quit.
Yeah.
They're quick to, oh, I don't like this, or they're quick to label out a red flag and then quick to leave.
Too self-serving.
Yeah, and it's all about me, and I'm like, yo, people are not. Marriage is about service,
They're afraid of changing themselves.
right? And changing themselves, thinking that when they change, that they're gonna be
Not
a
too much,
lesser
though.
version.
Not too much change, but like willing to compromise and better yourself.
Yeah, improvements.
Right.
Not change, improvements.
You make improvements and adjustments, and I'm like, yo, everything is a proven and adjustment, but you're so damn scared to look yourself in the mirror and say that I need to change.
There's things in a relationship that you won't learn unless you're in a relationship. There's things you learn about yourself in a relationship that you wouldn't know if you were single.
There are people in this world who would rather much be alone and listen to their own thoughts and validate themselves with their own whatever they got going on. But in a relationship, you have somebody that cares for you to the highest level. And whenever they give you criticism, a lot of people take it as, oh, you just don't like me. Or if you hate me, just say that. Or if you do this, just say that. Like, no, I want the best for you. And you should trust my word out of anybody else in this world. Is as far as like me being your significant other, my word should hold weight. Anybody else outside of like your maybe your parents or your siblings or like the close people around you, but as your spouse, as your partner, my word should hold value. And you should realize that I'm trying to speak value into you, and I'm trying to uplift you, and I'm trying to get you to improve so that it benefits yourself and us. But a lot of people don't see it that way.
Boy,
He
Alex,
preaching today, boy.
I mean, I found
I'm saying you preaching today.
we on his shit.
I need another
Alex's
mimosa.
episode.
this show. We're just along for the ride.
This is Alex's episode. We better let him go.
God. You can tell he has something to say.
Like,
He has something to get off his chest.
Gotta let that boy go.
I found that like what just along what Alex is saying, a lot of people are afraid to change. A lot of people are, like not willing to because maybe because it's been a part of them for so long.
Sorry.
I mean, thing I've learned. I think I've learned in my relationship is that you are.
Yeah, you just slip that in there real quick.
You got someone you are now a partnership. You got another person like thoughts like you got someone that you can talk to, someone that you trust with your secrets, someone that you can improve with, but you're also dealing with whatever came before. You're dealing with who they were as an individual. And you can't just like I think a lot of people on the other side of what Alex is saying is like while some people are afraid of change and not willing to change, there are people on the other side of that spectrum that expect too much change too fast or expect the wrong kind of change. Like it's not they don't want improvements, they don't want like growth, they want to customize a Sims character. Like because I see a lot of people where it's like, they're very picky about oh yeah, I don't like the way you dress or I don't like the way I don't like the kind of food you eat, I don't like the kind of friends you have, I don't like the kind of like job you do, like these kinds of things they're slowly trying to pick away at them. And the things that they want to change are not things that we grow as people for. It's things that like make you who you are.
You can't force that combination. You just have to deal with people where they are.
Yeah, you can't take away their individuality. You have to learn where the middle road is for your partner.
Absolutely.
But this isn't a game. This isn't something that you can just hit pause and readjust. This isn't GTA or any other RPG game where you're playing the character that you're playing. You're like, I don't like the way you look like now anymore. I want to change you, and I have the control to do that. A lot of people think that this shit's a game. It's not.
Yeah, because
I ain't gonna lie. My girl definitely put me on some better fits, though. I ain't gonna lie to her. I definitely started looking. I'm not saying I was ugly before, but like I definitely been able to put.
You got new
Why you
drip.
playing?
You had drip, but
Hey.
I
I
had drip, and I have like really like this shit
Are
different.
you playing? New drip, my girl. Babe, I love you. You should put me on to a lot of good like skincare products.
Yeah,
My skin be looking smooth now,
yeah.
bro.
she's trying to get me on. She's trying to get me on skincare. There's a lot of steps. it's a lot of stuff. Like
You got to put in the time, man. You got to
I
put
know.
in the time.
Bro, you got to do the
Gotta do
work.
it to be pretty.
She took me through like half of her routine, and that shit took like 15 minutes, and I was like,
Only
the
at
hell?
night.
I was like, what the hell is all
Yeah,
this?
it's mainly at night.
I was like, what is this? She's like, oh, it's the skincare routine. I was like, this is a drill. It's not a routine. This is a whole activity.
yeah, being in a relationship will definitely put you on to some things.
Good relationship.
A relationship
Yes.
that you want to work. So, because here's the thing, everybody is in a different stage in their lives, and we get that. We are all
We understand.
men that are in our 20s. So, for people, a lot of people can say that we are ripe.
Mid-20s.
We are in our mid
Please
20s.
stop.
We old. I'll be 28 this year.
It's late.
Keep that over there. No.
Don't run. Don't run.
It's coming.
It's coming.
No.
But like a lot of people would say that like we are ripe. We are in that we're in our prime.
We're not in our prime yet. We're getting there. We're getting to
we're
that point
getting
where
we are on the road.
Yeah.
But
bitchy.
a lot of people
I'll be honest. I feel like I'm in my prime, but like a long-term prime.
a long-term
I
prime.
haven't reached it
You
yet.
Optimus Prime.
I'm
Still
still
on the
getting
way.
there.
Like I feel like
I'm on the way.
Like I feel like people like really shorten their like they're like, oh, my prime is like a few years. Nah, I feel like I've been in my prime for a little while now. At least, especially physically speaking, spiritually, mentally growing in that peak. But like, you know,
We about to be there.
Well,
Not there yet.
I'm saying all this to say
Save a seat for us.
we're getting to the stage where there are some expectations that people might put on us for men in our mid 20s.
They will put it on you.
And so, would you say? All right, so let's talk about that for a brief moment. Like, what are some expectations that you think people are putting on us for us in our mid 20s in correlation to relationships
Like as men?
as men?
ooh, I got a good one off the bat. People, I mean, for the most part, rightfully so, kind of expect us to have our shit together to a degree. Like, not like have everything figured out. Like, you know, 6-figure salary, house, family. Right now,
Good job, a place to stay, and a working car.
But like, I think the expectation, like the bare minimum expectation that I think is like just a good level for everybody is just have your like, you know, figure out where you like where you stand on how you want to interact with people, how you want to treat people, relationships, friendships, romance, anything. Because we're not kids anymore. We're not like freshmen in college anymore who are just looking to go to a frat party and hook up with somebody.
What hoes?
Like we're past the age of games. We're
Ew.
past the age of manipulation. We're past
Oh, what a
So,
hoes, bro.
when you see somebody that's our age and they're still playing the same kind of games, they are stunting their own growth, or someone's stunting them.
Kind of ask like, what are you doing? Type shit.
Yeah.
Where are you
I've
going?
had to ask a lot of people that question as of late. You know, people I'm close to type shit, but it's like, hey man, like it's time to level up, man.
But the thing is, okay, so
gotta
Get
focus
stagnant.
up.
Yeah, people get stagnant.
but when it comes to these expectations, like there are certain things that are understandable.
Mhm.
You expect us to have a job. So let's start with there.
Yeah,
You got some money in your pocket.
that's fair. Yeah.
That's cool. You got a decent place to stay, whether it be your own or a roommate or some like you got a roof over your head.
Yeah.
All right,
Some type of privacy.
right. You got a vehicle,
A working vehicle.
a working vehicle,
Yeah.
in which depending on where you live, because if you're in New York, like then that don't matter. But like in certain areas, you got a vehicle.
I think the vehicle thing is less important because if you are purposefully like diverting money to living expenses and like savings, and you're using like, you know, transit systems and other ways to get to where you need to go, then that can be considered, you know, frugal and like and savvy instead of just being, you know, a little broke boy.
Not gonna lie, I feel like all that stuff, like yeah, it's cool, and I feel like all of that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And all of it's something that will come if you're actually focused on the correct things. Like if you're mentally where you want to be, that will put you in positions to where it will push you to where you physically want to be. Like job, car, house, all that stuff will end up, you know, appearing whenever you actually are good mentally and spiritually. I mean, that's just karma. You know what I'm saying?
Society will put the expectations on us that we have to have like our life like set,
Sometimes,
right?
you know, society is a bitch, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I mean, going off of Alex's question, I thought you were saying what expectations on us as far as dating. I thought you were leaning more towards like the guy paying for the first date.
These
I don't disagree with that.
these are correlations that lead to relationships.
Yeah.
So as far as the expectations, because if we're going back to, because if you haven't seen, look at the last episode when we talk about manhood.
Yeah.
And we're talking about like the expectations that we have on us as men. That also transitions into preparing ourselves if you are heterosexual, being prepared to prepare yourselves for the woman.
we can only really speak for heterosexual.
And that's not the only thing that we can really speak of. So so for us, when we're talking about preparing ourselves for the woman that we might have in our lives,
Yeah.
these are expectations. Now, some things are a little bit more egregious than others. There are some where it's like, you need to be making like $250K. Like, have y'all been seeing those videos
Yeah,
where like you're on the
maybe
street and
in
you're like,
Miami.
what
Yeah.
does a guy have to make in order to be with you?
Not even that.
And they be dropping wild
some
salaries.
Some people don't even know what the minimum wage is.
That's
You
true.
don't.
I mean, I argue that you know
250K is
250K, like talking about some at least 300K. I'm like, where you gonna get 300K from?
it'll happen.
name 3 jobs that pays that kind of money on a salary. Go ahead. Like
CEO.
that's my question.
UFC
Yeah,
fighter,
CEOs.
Not even
No,
UFC
not
fighter.
You have to be like top.
a champion. You have to be UFC champion.
We talked about this in the after hours.
Mhm.
Anywho,
A tenuous
What's-
relationship with the UFC.
CEO.
Yes.
CEO,
CEO.
investment,
Corporate,
a
corporate
broker.
lawyer,
Right.
corporate
Which
attorney,
is
Somebody that
underwriter.
is somebody because you don't really have to be good at that shit.
right.
private corporate attorney.
But you can't expect a guy in
Homeland
his
security
20s
person, or
You can't expect the guy in his mid-20s to be in that space. Is what we're saying.
I think it's like the thing is like expectations where it's like you hit the like the expectation especially in this country is like you pretty much when you turn 18 you hit the ground running. You just never stop running. You just go. Like you go to school or you get a job you
Or
get,
military.
like, or
That's
military. You just
That's
go.
So crazy.
And when you're done with that period, you get a job. You have to get a job immediately. You got to go get a vehicle. You got to start making money. You got to like finance a house. You do
Hustle,
all
hustle,
this
hustle, 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 hustle.
Hustle culture.
And the
yeah.
minute you like stop, take a break, or stumble, it's like, wow, you're just not a real man, are you? That's how we. Oh, sorry. That's how we bring people down. You know.
Boy. And I have felt that immensely.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust me, I have stumbled, but I had not stopped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was able to slow down and really look back to what I've done and be like, God damn, like, I'm really that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so crazy. But Lucas is right, man. Like, at some point, we need to be able to stop and kind of look at what we've done, who we are, and be able to kind of get our feet back under us because that hustle culture is not really allowing us to do that.
Because you're so focused on what you don't have, and that can, ruin your self-esteem. Going back to dating, you may not feel like you're adequate enough to date because you feel like you're not at a certain point. Instead of listening to the ladies, of what they actually want, because you're stuck in your own head.
I think another thing also is I think some expectations should be turned into personal, personal alignments, and some personal alignments should be turned to expectations. Like, for example, you mentioned earlier paying for the first date. I think that is like something that I believe in doing that because it's a nice thing to do, and I think a lot of people were raised that way. I don't think it should be a requirement, especially if there's like an open channel communication. If it's like a first date, you swipe on Tinder, and like you're both in school, you're both like scraping money kind of thing, like whatever. Like there's like an understanding where like if you're both in a similar like financial situation, there should be an expectation. I don't think to do things beyond your means, unless it's like generosity. On the other side of that, personal alignments that should be, made into expectations. Bring back proper gentleman conduct because there's way too many people treating women like
holding the
objects.
door, holding the
like
door for
disposable
women.
objects and disregarding their worth based on like anything.
Them just being
Like,
like,
just
I'll have
like-
a tip on that. Go ahead and finish.
Yeah, I'm just like, because like that was one thing that I think we wanted to touch on was like, I see a comment fly around on social media where it's like OnlyFans detected, opinion rejected, and it's a constant comment. I see that comment flying around, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, like you just automatically going to disregard someone's opinion because of something like that's
Hey yo.
like why? Like let's dive into why. I want to know why people are so quick to.
Hey yo.
Yeah.
That pisses me off. Like
He's so funny, bro.
Go ahead and finish your
I'm
point.
sorry.
all it is just
I'm disgusted.
people just like don't really have a lot of expectations brought upon them for like their upbringing, and there's a lot of things that should have because
It's so crazy though.
like on all sides like men, women, everybody. There's a lot of problems everywhere.
The motherfuckers that be commenting that shit be losers, bro.
And that's what I'm saying because it's like I understand, and I agree with Lucas that people, dudes need to be more like chivalrous and stuff like that and actually just be genuine.
Check a motherfucker in person.
Yeah, and I understand like
Sorry.
some people aren't grateful. You'll have some girls that kind of have inflated heads like that and aren't grateful. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, just because you're nice don't mean that somebody owe you something either, though. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you shouldn't really take that to heart. That's whatever they got going on. Still be a genuine person. If they're not receiving it, keep it pushing and go to the next person. Because just because this shorty ain't appreciated, don't mean this shorty ain't gonna appreciate it.
Okay, so hold on to that. When as far as like appreciation, chivalry, yes, something that men definitely across the board. Be chivalrous, be courteous, greet people, treat people with respect and human decency. But at the same time, that is something to pay attention to because everybody's expectations will show you what they're grateful for because it'll be a completely different thing. That like because even think back to the video that went viral of the woman who tried to blast the dude for taking her to Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
And another woman, if you were to take her on that same date, and she says, "Thank you so much for taking me out to this date. I had a really nice time." At that point, it's not about shaming that woman, which a lot of people did. But at the same time, that's just what her expectations are. That's okay. Go to somebody that will show appreciation for the gestures that you give.
I'm sorry, baby. You're not getting Nobu first time. I'm sorry. You're not seeing Betsy.
The thing is, it's the people like they set expectations that are a lot of times unrealistic because I don't think people really think about like they don't think beyond like what's happening in their head right now. Like oh he took me to Cheesecake Factory. He must not value me. He must think I'm trash. But it's like maybe he thought the food was good. Maybe it was a place within his means. Maybe it was a nice vibe. Whatever. Like you have no idea what he was thinking. And there are plenty of people who will show you how they think about you through their actions.
Yes.
But it's a two-way street. And I know there are a lot of dudes, a lot of women that will take advantage or they'll be ungrateful.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who will expect gratitude from shitty behavior. But it's when it comes to like the more positive.
But don't settle for shitty behavior. They won't.
Don't settle for shitty behavior. Don't be grateful for someone treating you like garbage. But don't expect gratitude. Don't expect on the other hand. Don't expect gratitude from someone who treats you like who you're treating like garbage.
Right.
And on that same note, don't be human.
When it comes to the shorty, when it came to the Cheesecake Factory, the thing is that the dudes that got upset with that means that girl was someone that dude probably would have wanted to date, and now that they know that they're not in her vicinity, that's why they're getting upset. Do you agree with that?
Not gonna lie, I didn't even watch that video.
I read the headline, and that was all I needed to see.
Yeah.
I saw the video because it was that video followed by the Oyster Girl.
I didn't see the Oyster Girl.
You didn't see the Oyster Girl?
Shorty that had 48 oysters.
48 oyster. So with the Oyster Girl, like she vlogged her date. She was like, "Hey guys, I'm going on this date, this oyster bar in Atlanta," and she met this dude that was getting drinks, and then she started racking them up. Like 48 oysters, she was out here just slurping, just dude dips out on her, runs on the tab.
I would too.
I've seen people.
Yeah, I would.
I've seen people slurp oysters. That
She
shit is
paid her
gnarly.
meal, but it was just like, girl, this is the first date.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? What did you like? Clearly, your expectations of the first date and his clearly they didn't align.
Like, listen, we could have gone there again, like later on in the relationship, but let me get to know you first. Like, you didn't even get a chance to actually
Exactly.
talk.
I can't get to know you all that.
All right, all that
That,
slurping.
like, I can't
shit.
I can't get to know you if you're recording everything that we're doing.
Exactly.
Right, and
I mean,
so
but that's the thing. Like, you're uncomfortable with something. Like, something's not sitting right with you, and I think it's a big point of contention a lot with relationships nowadays is how to communicate those, issues. And that's, a very special B word, right, Max? Bitches.
Boundaries.
No bitches. Boundaries.
Boundaries.
No,
Is it not bitches?
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
That's like the B word.
It is the B word.
All right, fine. Boundaries.
Boundaries. Yes.
Well, it's important to communicate those boundaries. I think a lot of people kind of take for granted, their willingness to communicate their discomfort, to be uncomfortable about something, and on the other part, just how to resolve the communication about your boundaries. Like, what is a boundary? What is controlling? Some common boundaries I think that we all know about. Easy ones. I don't like that you're liking that girl's pictures on Instagram. Could you please stop? Or, hey, you were out pretty late last night but didn't say anything. I got worried. Can you send me, so from now on, can you send me text to let me know you're okay? Simple things like this. So it's like, how do y'all feel about communicate those boundaries, and how do you feel about when you are approached with them?
It's being able for both parties to understand what is a boundary and what's being labeled as controlling.
Mm-hmm.
There is obviously doing everything in moderation. So whether you decide to have your location shared or tell people where you're going or telling that person where you're going to be at all times, it doesn't matter how it looks or how you slice it. It's just understanding that for the expectation is that I'm trying to ensure your safety and your well-being, because as men, if that's the one thing that you definitely require from us, then it's fulfilling the duty of protection and security. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to make sure that your well-being is met at all costs, whether I am there or not. And that is something that all men need to just establish for themselves. So if you prefer sharing locations or prefer just texting wherever you go at all times, if you prefer that, then it's being able to communicate that well enough so that you make sure that the woman knows that you're not trying to be controlling or manipulative. You're trying to make sure that, he's just looking out for me to make sure that I'm safe. Yeah. And so, and everybody has their own variation of how that looks.
Exactly.
You're navigating a whole other person's thoughts and opinions. Like, you can want the best for somebody, you can communicate your compromises, but I think a lot of people expect people to just, and just immediately, register it.
Right.
But people have their own past issues. They have their traumas. They have their experiences. They have their beliefs. And, getting upset when someone just automatically doesn't resonate with your issue, if you cannot expect someone to be understanding if you yourself are not willing to understand them, kind of thing.
It's a partnership. You're supposed to take the time to know each other.
It's a dance.
That's how it works.
Exactly.
It's a delicate dance, and you got to just move. Because I get it.
It's a waltz.
I get it in the sense of, when women have the concerns of, whether they feel protected or not and stuff like that. I totally get that. But also, it is about having those early conversations quick to say, hey, I want to make sure that you are just safe.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with, insecurity or anything. It's you are under my protection and my safety, and so I would like you to do these certain things so I can ensure your safety. And at that point, you have to just communicate that to make sure that she knows that you mean that well, and you're not just trying to just have her locked up in a cage somewhere.
Yeah. It's little things are pretty simple for the most part, but it's all about context. It's all about what it is, because you can't just get a universal rule for how to deal with discomfort for every situation. Hey, I said earlier, hey, you were really radio silent, and I was worried I didn't know where you were. For my personal sanity.
The fuck was that?
Literally a mic drop or some shit.
That's my phone. Dropped out of my pocket.
So it's it's very simple. Hey, can you let me know you're okay? Easy, pretty easy to do. Not a whole lot of discussion, I don't think, that you need. It's like, hey, cool, I can make a mental note of that. But go a little deeper of, the question of, can we share locations with each other? Can we use, Life 360 or Find My? And then you got, you have, questions to ask. It's okay to just be totally accepting of it, but it's also okay to say no if you're not comfortable with it. Because, privacy is a big thing. I advocate for your right to not have to divulge things if you're not feeling safe to do so. But saying no and that's that is not good enough for your partner. You have to, even if you're communicating a mistrust, you have to communicate that with your partner. And your partner might feel some type of way about that. They might be like, "Oh, he doesn't trust me," and it's like, "No, it's not about that. I just have unresolved issues, or I just don't like that."
And if you don't explain that, then they can't understand where you're coming from. So they're not going to feel like they have to do and respect the boundary if you don't really explain what the boundary really is.
Hence the delicate dance.
I ain't gonna lie though, bro. Like, if you still have those unresolved issues, you should probably take the time to resolve them yourself before
And
you
be
get into a
single.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe you don't like this thing. Maybe sometimes things kind of just come out of nowhere. Like maybe it was something that you thought was buried, but then it's like it's the delicate dance. Hey, can we do this thing? Can we share locations? I'm not really comfortable with doing that. It's not you. I just have issues. Can we come to a compromise? Maybe I send you messages. I'm more responsive kind of thing, because that's the part on you. You have to ask yourself, do I trust this enough? Do I trust them not to abuse this? And can I fully disclose this power to them? Because you're vulnerable essentially. And then your partner or the other person on the side of the conversation, same thing. They have to think, okay, am I okay with them saying no in the reason they're giving me, or do I not trust that they're being genuine? Do I have a suspicion that they're going to be, sneaky about something? And if any of these doubts come to either one of y'all's minds, you need to address it one way or the other, because it is only going to get worse, kind of thing. I agree. Some boundaries y'all.
I mean, the boundaries that I've had set, it's based off of stuff that I've learned from my relationships in the past, of just stuff that what I will tolerate and what I will not tolerate. And so so when it comes to safety, that's always been put in question. Now, granted, the relationships that I've been in the past were way before then. They were in high school, so just the mentality was just different. But then when my fiance and I got together, when we met, we were 18. So we were 18, we were just freshmen. So those type of expectations. Not to say
So it wasn't much time in between.
yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't much to discuss. But as far as once we graduated and we were adults in the world and we had those conversations, now for us it's more of just how do we keep the line of communication with us being in a long distance relationship. And so as far as those boundaries, it's just more of just about talking and having an opportunity to talk to each other every single day, because we're in different time zones, we both work, and so it's just about making sure that as far as those boundaries are concerned, it's making sure that we still talk. We talk to each other, we keep each other informed about everything that's going on with each other, and it makes it easier so that whenever we do get together, whether she flies to me or I fly to her, it's like night and day. It's as if we seen each other yesterday.
For y'all too, was there ever a boundary that was set in front of you, or maybe you set a boundary that maybe received some tension? Maybe it was a point of disagreement?
No, I wouldn't say it was tension, because I think the boundary was reasonable. Like I mentioned earlier, what if I'm being vulnerable and explaining my feelings like I did with my ex, I expect the undivided attention. If you doing something, I want you to put what you're doing down and actually look at me and be in the presence of me. Because when she ever had to come to me and say, "Hey Jeff, I want to talk to you about something," I put everything I'm doing down and I sit and I'm in the presence of you, so you know that I'm there with you, and I just expect the same in return. And it was made.
Well, first of all, if I do want to say that I'm grateful for my girlfriend for giving me a place to go and talk about my feelings and do things like that, give me an open space, safe space.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes tend to give off being a smart ass sometimes, a know-it-all sometimes.
You are a smart ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
She is so right about
You're better than me.
No, it's not even
She's
like
so
that.
right.
She's just you need to calm that shit down. I'm like, you're right about that.
Do I though?
You're kind of right about that. I do need to calm that shit down. So, one thing about it, me and her, we're both two very headstrong people. But we work very well. Headstrong, intelligent people. So it's just, back and forth.
You're gonna clash a little bit.
Yeah. No, we're definitely gonna clash, and we understand that about our personalities, because we're very, we have very unique, powerful personalities. So of course, those clashes happen, but we end up compromising and talking to each other with even keeled minds, and that's one thing that's something that I'm really actually proud of with our relationship, and the amount of maturity with us being so young. It's awesome.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
I mean, boundaries are super important. Communication. I always talk about. I love communication in a relationship, but I think there are some expectations to what should be set forth on like what should be expected from like from someone setting a boundary and what should not. For example,
Those are just dynamics, though, right?
yeah, like
Different dynamics of the relationship of like what flows together and what doesn't, or
Yeah.
what you allow to happen, or what are some things that you allow to go or not.
something that's like more complex and requires like levels of vulnerability and trust and degrees of trust. It's a discussion, it's a conversation. But things that are like fairly simple, I think cause a lot more. I think the simple things cause more issues than the more complicated things a lot of times, because that lack of communication isn't going to just get worse because of the complexity. It's just if it's there, it's going to be bad regardless. So like if you are asked. I was actually asked the other day because like there was a page I used to follow that used to be just nothing but memes, and then it just became nothing but booty. Like, no, I'm not kidding you.
That's so crazy.
Booty,
Yeah,
titties,
it's so crazy.
sex toys, like advertising sex toys, and I'm like, wait, where are the
Damn, I have to unfollow this.
where are the
Yeah,
memes? Like, where are the memes? And so I didn't even really notice it. Like, it was like sometimes when I'm doom scrolling, like
it happens.
it does, like because that's what
Because they sell their pages.
generates views, it generates ads.
It happened to me on Twitter. I ain't gonna hold
But
you.
no, I was watching it, and I was scrolling. She was sitting next to me, and she saw like someone like clapping her cheeks, and I didn't really notice. I just like scroll. I see it. I'm like, I scroll past it, and she was like, what was that? I was like, what was what? I didn't even really. And I was like, oh yeah, that. I was like, they post like booty once in a while, kind of thing. I didn't really even realize. And we pulled up the page.
Why do you have to explain it? It's not your page. It's just some ass.
And like the Avi is like
It was probably a
Dead ass like a
genuine question,
meme.
like curiosity, not
Yeah,
like
she was
what's
like,
going on here?
Like, what's
like
going
it's
on?
dead
And I
ass
was
like a
oh,
meme.
yeah.
It's like a meme page, but it's like we post.
And so I pulled up the profile to prove like, oh yeah, it's a meme page because it always was. And then the last 4 posts, booty and sex toys. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And she asked me, and I was like, do you want me to unfollow? She's like, I would feel more comfortable. And I was like, all right, cool. I did it. It was simple. It was easy thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like like if you're liking like random women's pictures, like bikini like models, nude shit, like whatever. Fine, you don't feel comfortable with them putting that boundary on you. You got to explain yourself though, because the minute
Yeah.
you don't,
I ain't gonna lie.
It gets suspicious.
it gets even worse.
I can't go out of the way to follow somebody that's like I don't follow many celebrities.
I don't
I
follow
don't.
any
I,
celebrity.
don't I think I follow. Who do I follow?
I follow one.
I follow a couple.
I follow like
I
martial.
follow a few martial artists. I follow some
martial artists,
athletes.
yeah.
I follow a few
I
actors.
follow
Yeah.
Ari Lennox.
Mm.
I think it's about it.
She's
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Yeah.
I like the content. I like
Shout
the
out Ari
content.
Lennox. We love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make great music. You can
No,
sing
I
really
follow,
well.
I follow a couple like
Shout out to
like
you.
celebrities, but like they're like
Oh, and Tim's. Tim's.
But
Thames.
Thames, we love you.
Ari Lennox and Tim's.
I feel like that's a very simple, reasonable boundary, to broach. If it makes you feel insecure, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, and there's really no reason for me to keep doing it, then I have no reason to infringe on that. But then on the other side of that, if your partner is like, hey, I would like you to stop liking your female friend's posts, and it's like, what? Why? It's like, oh, because it makes me feel insecure. Why? She's a friend. Like it's a question.
Yeah.
Met them
Like
type shit.
it's like okay, it's like
Yeah.
fine. Like,
That's where you got to
you
be
have
like, all
approached,
right,
you have-
now we got to address this and we got to unpack this. What does me liking my female friend's photo have anything to do with you?
Yeah, like have a discussion, like give your reasoning, and if you've given your reasoning and it's still not clicking, there's something else going on,
Yeah.
But big point of
You can help them work through it as well if you're in that relationship. If they want to work through it.
but a big point of contention, big one about setting boundaries and like expectations is OnlyFans, right?
Of
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 yes,
OF.
Yeah. Listen, man.
we talk about setting boundaries.
My personal preference. I can't date OnlyFans.
It's a no
That's
for
not-
me, dog.
That's
Mm.
not. That's a no for me.
and people will like, and there'll be
If
people
that's
who-
something you want to do do you, boo.
People
Make
will
your bread.
demonize you for
No,
like
absolutely.
not wanting to do that.
Make
but
your
if
bread.
Make your bread. Do
what
you gotta
do.
You know what I'm
but
saying? But
That's
you know
not
what?
for me.
You are not less. You are not valued
Got it.
lower than you are.
I am not.
No,
do it.
absolutely not.
I'm not
Absolutely
demonizing you. I'm not saying you're less
I'm not gonna
of
diss
or
you for it,
anything.
but I don't gotta deal with it either.
Yeah, I'm not about
And
to
don't
do
be
that shit.
mad at
Absolutely
me
not.
for not wanting to be in a relationship with you because you're an OnlyFans.
Exactly.
That is your choice, and this is my preference.
Exactly.
So please
They
respect my
They're
preference.
gonna be on this bitch like, oh, you can't afford me anyway. You know,
Okay.
If you broke, just say that.
I can't afford these
Well,
products.
then I live under a bridge and I'm a hobo.
But that's the same thing with dudes. Like, you're not even cute anyway. It's the same thing. Shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's worse, the OnlyFans models that puts their shit out, or the people who subscribe to it and then comment trying to devalue you? Devalue you.
I mean, even from the OnlyFans person to a stripper to an adult actor. I mean,
Scripple.
all of those, these are professions where it's like, yo, ain't nobody shaming you. Well, we're not shaming you. Other people might.
do your thing, bro.
We're not shaming
Make
you.
your
Do your
bread.
thing.
We can't speak for other
Make
people.
your bread, and we
That's
can't
what
speak
it's
for
like.
others.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
We not though.
certain things come with certain things come with the territory, and some
understand,
people are gonna feel away, and some people are just gonna set boundaries on what they are comfortable with dealing with.
Exactly.
I personally cannot deal with dealing with somebody that was an adult star or stripper or
think
anything.
there
That's
are
just
some-
not my preference.
There are some reasons that people have that aren't really like why you don't want people to be an OnlyFans model. Some people they don't want it because they have a really weird controlling complex. Like I've known some people, I've encountered some people that just in general structure of their relationship, they're very controlling because they're insecure, and like those reasons are not because the OnlyFans. Those are gonna bubble into other things. Even if she deletes the OnlyFans, you're not gonna get over that insecurity.
I'm so sorry.
But what?
So you've been cackling over there.
What you cackling about?
Because imagine you're 20 years down the line and y'all married or some shit, and all of a sudden you pull up a video of your wife getting railed by another dude. And it's like a whole bunch of.
All right, that's the end of the show. Bye.
They said they're gonna be used as bullying tactics.
I saw your mama sucking dick.
Bro, I see your mama sucking dick. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I have to air out the clip. I got to air out the clip.
I'm so
Everybody got to die now. Whoever's seen the video, you have to die now. Oh my God.
It's like this. Everyone deserves happiness.
Oh,
Everyone
my
deserves to
God.
find a partner
Oh.
that makes them feel fulfilled. If that's what you want, that's great. But it's about expectations.
Nah, fuck that. I'm airing the clip out. Fuck that. Oh.
Bro, imagine you getting bullied in school and somebody pulls up a video of your mom getting. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, yo, Timmy. Hey, yo, Timmy, was that your mom on the casting couch? Like,
Pushing all the buttons.
Look,
You use the bullying tactic.
this nigga Max.
So there's someone that I know, right, that works with someone that was saying, oh, if my girl was doing OnlyFans, then that's a wrap. And the person that I know said that they'd be fine with it, and I had to sit him down, like, look, if that's how you truly feel about it, that's cool, and I get you respecting your partner's body and everything, but you gotta really sit down and say, are you okay with your partner showing the goodies for the money? Because at the end of the day, if you are together, what is truly, to each other? What's really sacred between you two?
The internet is forever, man.
well, here's a
That's
big
all I was
question.
gonna
Like,
say.
if when you find like resistance to that boundary, my question to people is like, what exactly are you afraid of giving up? Because are you afraid of giving up the paycheck, or are you afraid of giving up that validation you see? Because again, OnlyFans operates just like social media. It's generated by validation, likes, views,
Tips.
money, tips, like that all.
Attention is the most valuable currency right now.
That right now that like translates, that converts into validation, how you feel for your self-worth. And maybe, just maybe, you don't want to give that up because you wonder if that's going to affect your self-image, and that's something you got to deal with and tackle, because you are worth more than the body you put out on the internet. Period. But
Also, brother, you don't have to deal with that if you don't want to either.
yeah, be
It's
comfortable.
totally up to you if you want to indulge in that lifestyle or not.
I support
Completely up to
the
you.
bag. I support you getting your money and doing what you want to do for it. But my only thing about it is case by case basis. Understand that, a lot of society is primarily a little bit more conservative. OnlyFans is kind of like a huge slap in the face. It's like a huge new thing. It's changing the game. And a lot of people,
that like the original intention.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a Patreon, and then it just became that.
yeah, like the whole thing was it is what it is now. And you understand that if you want, every choice has a reaction, every choice has consequence, and you should not be punished for your choices necessarily, because let's be honest, it's a way to make a living. Sex work has been around and demonized forever.
There's repercussions to your decisions.
Prostitution,
But
Say that.
world's
you
oldest
have
profession.
to
I'm pretty sure it's
repercussions
one of the oldest jobs.
yeah, it is the oldest
The
job.
oldest job. That and being a farmer.
You have to
Like,
accept the fact that a traditional relationship is kind of hard to come by if you
It's very
commit
hard
to
come
this
by.
path.
Yes, not saying that you
should
deserve to
never-
be punished necessarily, but you're gonna have repercussions for doing certain decisions, though, and you have to deal with those repercussions.
It's results, it's reactions. It's not. It's all it is. Nope. No.
Max,
I ain't gonna put myself in a situation.
I'm not.
That's crazy.
But I'm not gonna force you to do something you don't want to do. But I'm not gonna force myself to go through with it. Period.
Exactly.
So before we make a conclusion to this season,
This is a hell of a season 3 finale. Thanks, Max.
What are you talking about? That was my fault. I just had a thought pop up in my mind, but it's like, damn, like
It's a real
thought,
That's a real.
it is a real thought.
Let's get bullied for a lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but y'all know how we do at the end of every episode. Each of us takes a moment to give our last 2 cents about the matter. So, everybody take their moment to say their final piece on relationships, where you think it's heading, what you think people should do, any tips, any advice for people. What do we have? What are our last words?
Bully my future kids at your own risk. They're gonna know how to fight way better than you.
That's it.
I mean, that's not it, but that's the first thing I want to say.
Stupid. But
If you dare.
I guess I think I have a couple things to say. This is mostly for men, because I'm speaking from a man's perspective. Listen, if you don't have your shit together, if you broke, if you doing all these other shit, like you're not mentally there, don't get into a relationship. You're just gonna be fucked up. It's gonna be a fucked up ass
do it.
relationship.
Focus on the
Especially because if you broke and you know you broke, money has an effect on a male's psyche, on a man's psyche, and everything is going to be affected by that. So make sure you're right. And then number 2, be a little flexible in your relationships, because that's like an utmost important thing, that you are a little bit flexible, because your partner, they have their own ideas too. They're their own person. There's no way you're going to be able to completely change and mold that person unless they're just completely naive. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you want an actual healthy relationship, you wouldn't want a person like that. You know what I'm saying? So, those 2 things is all I got to say, bro. Live it up.
That's fair.
Lucas, do you actually have something to say outside of fighting?
Yeah, I always have something to say.
He just wants to fight.
No, I was just like, we were on to close the subject of bullying out. I just wanted to put it out very clearly.
Bully my children
At
and
your
I'll
own
stab
risk.
you.
People think I'm fighting to save the day.
But really, I just like to fight.
No, real quick side note, I never related to anyone more than Daniel Cormier talking about when he was actively fighting and how kids would bully and pick on his kids. He pushed the kid over. He pushed the kid down.
Yeah, I heard
He said he look at the dad. He said, your kid pushes my kid down, I'm gonna push you. That's the kind of energy that I'm gonna take. You push my kid down, I'm gonna trip you.
That part.
Ridiculous. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to. I'm not actually gonna hit kids, obviously, but
Just push 'em.
my kid will. My kid would. Look, the thing is that I wanted to get at really was, relationships are what you make of them. It's an investment. You put in love, commitment, time, sanctity, respect, dedication, you're gonna get it back. If you don't get it back, it's not a good investment. Invest, be better investment.
Then beat them.
But it goes both ways. It goes both ways. You cannot expect love if you do not love yourself. You cannot expect love if you do not give that in return. Be as understanding as you can be at any given moment, because you have no idea. Again, you have no idea what anyone's gone through in the past. And I try to take that with my relationship. Being the first real long-term one I ever had, I've always tried to make checks and balances on myself. Am I doing this right? Am I giving this enough attention? Don't invalidate someone's feelings if they want to approach you with something. Is my big thing.
Yep.
I ramble a little bit. But
100.
if they approach you with a boundary, communicate it. If you don't like it, communicate it. If you, whatever. But if they come to you and say, hey, this makes me feel insecure or uncomfortable, don't be like, well, it shouldn't. That's your problem. Because it's y'all's problem together. That's my big thing.
All right. Here is
Sensational.
Here's my last few things. So, know who you are as a person before you enter into any relationship. Take a hard look in the mirror and realize who you are as a person. What you're good at, what you're not good at. Are you good at communication? Are you not good at communication? Are you selfish or selfless? You have to answer all of these before you even think about entering into a relationship. And the thing is, relationships are hard. Long-term relationships are hard. Marriage is hard. And the thing is that if you want to aspire to get to that level, then you have to understand that there is a level of sacrifice and hard work and dedication that you have to put into this. You have to understand is that it's not about you anymore. It's you, your partner, and y'all. Y'all are a unit. You are still your individual selves. And make sure that you always take care of your individual self.
Yeah.
But also recognize that you have another person on the other side that relies on you to ensure their well-being and your well-being as well. Mm-hmm. So
not you against them, it's y'all against the problem.
It's y'all against the world. It's an A and B conversation. Everybody else can see their way out. And so you really got to take a moment to really understand who you are. And once you establish yourself as a person, you'll be able to take that and apply that into other areas of your life.
Mm-hmm. What the fuck you use that reference for?
So, with that being said, we appreciate you for tuning in to the season 3.
Damn, Jeff, you not gonna have shit to say?
We don't have a lot of time. I'll say it next time. But we appreciate you for tuning in for the season 3 finale, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bitches. We can finish out the. We can start it back up for the other 2 minutes or whatever.
You say what's up to the camera? What's up? You say what's up to the camera?
Stay undercover. Stay undercover, I'm stealth. My whole life I kept on waiting for shit. Had to learn to go get it myself. Yeah, I'll get this shit by myself. Yeah, I'll make a way for myself. Yeah, I see you got a new dude and that's cool, but I promise we fuck I won't tell. Yeah, know that you miss it, I tell. Because you still hit up my cell. So just let us out of ourselves. Cause I think I'm losing brain cells. Cause you're toxic, so toxic, still want you myself. Wanted that girl for some years now. Now she unbuckled my belt. And see that she like how I felt. I'm on a mission, no I cannot fail. Killer but not Freddy Krueger. That means I kill something else. Different is how I maneuver. I am like nobody else. A loner, so do not look for me. Cause I gotta look for myself. I do what I did this shit for me. I don't live for nobody. Stay undercover. Stay under.